Well, they didn't vote for her yesterday, at least not as many as she thought. British Prime Minister Theresa May clobbered by British voters, tired of deadly terror attacks and an economy which seems stuck in the mud. President Trump responding to the results earlier by telling reporters that it was, quote, surprising. The president did speak to the prime minister earlier today on the phone. Joining us now is former member of the United Kingdom's Parliament, John Browne. John, great to see you. I'm wondering, and of course there are a lot of pundits saying this, but is it too much to say that, and again, she's still the prime minister for the moment, but really they were clobbered, that her getting clobbered is of a part of what we're seeing all over the world, that is a rejection of the establishment which she's so represented?
Yes, it is, but of course she misread it in going to the polls. It wasn't an anti-EU establishment, it was anti-British establishment of which she was part. And of course it's weakened the British hand tremendously and will make the negotiations considerably more difficult and tough. And of course her majority, even if the unionists come in and they're right of her, on right wing of her, still the overall majority is very small, and so it's going to be a very difficult and trying time for her.
Now, she was, of course, with the establishment against Brexit until she realized it was an untenable position to take within the Conservative Party. Now she's for Brexit, but you wonder where her loyalties lie there, don't you?
Well, this is my personal view, is that actually she was probably for Brexit, but she was under a Remainer Prime Minister in Cameron and a government that was Remain. And so she very tactfully voted to stay in office in her job as Home Secretary, but she was probably secretly Brexit, and has been very, very full of integrity in fighting the Brexit cause ever since.
But her opponent, and we should say Jeremy Corbyn, is a Labour Party member, but he's not at all like Tony Blair, who was kind of middle of the road. Jeremy Corbyn is a far leftist. Some people even call him a communist. I mean, he really does have some extremist views, certainly on the economy. I don't think it was so much that the Brits really want to go there. He represents such a anti-establishment figure that was more in his favor than his actual economic policies, no?
I totally agree, and he's far to the left even of Bernie Sanders. Very far left. He's in league with terrorists, he won't condemn them, all these sort of things. And he very cleverly offered free education to the youth, and the youth had been already heavily indoctrinated by the European Union at vast expense. And so there was a tremendous young vote against May.
Now, finally, John, we've got to wrap, but is it fair to say that even though she may not be prime minister much longer, that it will probably be somebody that is designed from the Conservative Party? They're very good at kicking people that they don't like out. They've done it in the past. That even though she may not be the prime minister, it certainly won't be Jeremy Corbyn in the near future.
No, I think the Conservatives will keep her. Because she will re-establish authority within the party very quickly with her whipping system. She will see through the negotiations of Brexit within the next 2 years, and then I think and make her place in history, and then I think she will resign after 2.5 years and hand over to another leader who will then have 3 years to bed in for them and win the next election. Meanwhile, the economy in the short term will do well because sterling will be weaker, and the medium term will be volatile because of the negotiations, and the long term very, very much better, free enterprise, free of the European Union burden, and free to remake relationships with our oldest allies, America, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going to happen, according to John Browne. Anyway, John, great to see you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Melissa.
Thank you, David.